Hi, everybody. Let's read chapter 6. Do you feel curious? I want to talk to you about that. When good readers are reading along, it's a good habit to take a moment and just think, what's going to happen? How's this going to work out? Have some thoughts in your head before you read. So as I read this, I feel curious. How are they going to fix this? Everything he puts in his mouth turns to chocolate, which it could sound good, or would you get tired of chocolate? Then it wouldn't be a special treat anymore. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I feel curious about it, and I feel like this is the best feeling in the world, that I have to read this. I have to finish the book now. That's a good feeling when you're reading along. And sometimes I've picked up a book and I'm not enjoying it and I don't finish it, but not very often. Usually I say to myself, I got to know how this ends. And that's how I feel about this book. Chapter 6. When the others had been excused to go out for mid-morning play, John had to go and stand by Miss Plimsoll's desk. "John," Miss Plimsoll said, "you mustn't make up silly stories to excuse your failures. I must have the truth. What'd you do with your pencil?" "This is it," John said, showing Miss Plimsoll the pointed stick of chocolate. "Really, it is. It changed." "What do you mean it's changed?" Miss Plimsoll demanded. "That's my pencil," John tried to explain, "only it isn't the same anymore. Nothing stays the same today. If I put it into my mouth, the same thing happened when I chewed my gloves. They were chocolate too." "John," said Miss Plimsoll slowly, "do you feel all right?" She thinks he's crazy. "Yes, thank you," John said. "I feel all right, except," he added, "I'm getting so thirsty. The water from the water fountain turned into chocolate, and so did the water upstairs. I would really like a cold drink of water." "Yes, John," Miss Plimsoll said. She suddenly looked pale. "You run out and play with the others. I'm going to have a talk with the nurse. And John," Miss Plimsoll said as he started toward the classroom door, "here's another pencil. Be a good boy and try not to lose it. I'm afraid I'll have to keep this piece of chocolate until school's out. You know we don't allow anyone to eat candy in class." Miss Plimsoll put the slightly chewed chocolate pencil in her desk drawer, and John went out to look for Susan. He found her skipping rope with 2 girls in his class. John usually scorned skipping rope. He preferred hide and seek, tag, FBI, and spies, kick the can, or any other good, exciting game. Jumping up and down in one place just to avoid being hit by a rope seemed silly to him, but he was sorry for having spoiled Susan's silver dollar, and he was willing to make a sacrifice. There's another example, boys and girls, of this being an older book. I don't know the copyright, but listen to the games he played on the playground: hide and seek, tag, FBI, and spies. I don't think kids in 2020 play those games. Kick the can. It didn't even mention tetherball or handball. Those are things kids like now. "Susan," he said. Susan continued to bounce on one foot as her 2 friends swung the rope over and over, over and under. She didn't seem to notice John. "I'll skip with you," he offered. Susan stopped, and the rope was caught by her shins. "Let's try doubles backwards," she said, but not to John. She ignored John. "You go first, Betty. Ellen, you go second. I'll go last. The one who does it the most times gets the first slice of my birthday cake." Susan looked at John, raised her eyebrows, shut her eyes, and stuck out the tip of her pink tongue. Then she turned back to the girls and smiled. Ellen whispered in Betty's ear, and Betty whispered in Susan's ear, and then all 3 of them looked at John and each other again, and they burst out laughing. "Oh, Susan," John protested, "I didn't mean to do it. The trouble is, there's something magic about me today. Everything I put in my mouth turns to chocolate." The girls giggled. You wouldn't like it, said John, who was beginning to feel sorrier for himself than he'd ever felt before. I think it's getting worse, he added reproachfully. At first, just the part in my mouth turned to chocolate. But then I nibbled at the end of my pencil, and the whole pencil changed. Pooh, said Susan. The others hooted with glee. Maybe I'll get sick and die, John warned. Maybe I'll turn to chocolate myself. Then you'll be sorry. I don't believe one word about the chocolate, Susan said. And if it was true, you'd be glad, because all you'd ever be eating was chocolate. If you don't believe me, John retorted, just give me that skipping rope and I'll prove it. Here's a picture. Can you see? Kind of cute illustrations. I don't see a jump rope. Oh, is it in her hand, that last girl? He's going to eat the jump rope. The girls looked questioningly at each other for an instant, but as they hesitated, the bell rang and it was time to go back to the classroom. The rest of the morning passed slowly for John. He was afraid that his mother was going to be cross about the missing gloves. She might not accept the excuse that he'd eaten them. He regretted his messed up arithmetic test. He was sad about Susan's anger and disbelief, and he was getting terribly thirsty. Once during geography and once during art, he was excused to get a drink of water. Both times, however, he swallowed nothing but sweet chocolate. His mouth was getting stickier and sweeter and drier by the minute. And that's chapter 6. How is this going to work out, boys and girls?